Toffee TV is the instant match reaction for Crystal Palace 0, Everton 1. I have never felt more like singing the blues. You know why. What a 3 points. Seamus Coleman, you little Irish beauty. I love games like this. Well, there's nothing better than scoring in the last few minutes of a game, is there? There's nothing better than scoring in the last few minutes when there's PR fume all over the stadium because one of your shitty players is on his arse because he ain't fit. Whose fault's that? Sam Allardyce's fault. That's whose fault that is, for playing players who are not fit. We signed a player for 20 million. He ain't fit. He's sitting on the bench till he gets fit. Your fault, Allardyce, not our fault. Why should we kick it out? Anyway, more of that in a moment. We went in with the same team as we did last week, which is fair enough. I would have liked Snidland to play because, as you've seen through the game, how much they relied on set pieces. Basically, they relied on set pieces for the entire game. That was where everything came from. Barry played, fair enough. Played pretty well, and the change was made around the 60th minute mark, something like that, for Snidland to come on. So pretty much balanced itself out. We started a little bit. Well, they started fast, didn't they? They started fast. You could see what they were trying to do, put us under pressure early on. That's where, certainly in the first half of the season, we've been very guilty of starting games slow and going behind at times and then trying to get back in the game. So they went at us straight away. Benteke obviously hit the bar. But we started growing into the game. We started controlling the ball. Obviously, Ross Barkley put one in off the, which was given offside. Obviously, Romelu Lukaku hitting the post. And the shape for us was good. I like that shape. I like what we're doing. I think we've got a more consistent shape now. You're seeing more out of, even though, Romelu had a bit of a quiet game today, but we're getting a bit more out of Morales. It's getting a bit more out of Coleman, out of Baines. I thought Ross Barkley. I thought Ross Barkley was fantastic today. The way he moved the ball. The only thing that he let him down is that there was a couple of times when he was in maybe two minds of whether to have a shot or cross, and he did the cross shot. And that's the only thing that let him down today. He was brilliant. The way he moved the ball was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic the way he moved the ball, the way he was, because against a team like Palace, let's be honest, they set out like we did last week almost against City, happy to let us have the ball, but then try and hit us on the break. Lower Cremy played quite well for them, actually, he looked good, but obviously tired because he's not played for like 8 years or something, but you could see what they were trying to do, but when we had the ball, I thought, it was just that cutting edge. It was that final ball. It was rushed, especially in the second half. It was rushed far too many times, trying to be too clever, trying to find that last ball. When we seem to take a little bit more time over things, and when I say time, I don't mean just like passing it round the edge of the box. Just having a little look and seeing what we had on, because we always had loads of options. At times, Murray was going into the third half. Holgate was out, going around the other side of Seamus Coleman, which really shouldn't happen if you're, a Crystal Palace player. But we just lacked the killer touch, especially in the second half. The first half was more like just a getting to know you sort of thing. But the second half we started turning the screw. We were starting to have a few more shots. Hennessy had to make not amazing saves. We made a couple of decent saves. He spilled a couple that really we should have been following in on. If the players are doing the jobs properly. But I just thought, we just didn't take enough care, which is something we're going to have to start learning to do, because this was the issue today. It was all, last week was all fanfare and it was all fun against Man City and it's all great. But, we said on the match preview, it was a completely different game today. At one end of the spectrum to the other. It was going to be, more of a fight. We were going to have more of the ball. And it was what we did with the ball, and that's what's let us down in the past. But we started to turn the screw, as I say, and we had a couple of chances. Like Murray had a decent chance in the first half as well. Ross had a decent chance. They both put it near enough the same place. And then, he went for it again. He took Morales off, brought Lookman on, who I thought, in the early part of when he came on, he looked fantastic. The little give and go with Lukaku, just didn't get hold of the shot. Cross-field pass, he looked great. The only thing is that, and this is not a criticism of him, and it's not really a criticism of the team. It's just that as they started going a little bit more route one, and we were getting forced back just a little bit, he wasn't an outlet because it's early days. We maybe don't know how to use him as an outlet yet, where to hit the ball. Does he want it in channels? These are things that they'll learn about, the lad. And where they've been two up front, Morales and Ron, keeping them busy, not allowing them just to whack it back. Lookman drifted out of the game a little bit because they weren't finding him. So that'll be something that we learn, but that's not a criticism. That's just what happened. That we'll learn from that. But as I say, we kept going. We kept going, and I thought we dominated the middle of the park. And obviously, Snidling came on, and there's no fanfare about Snidling. He's just going to get on and do his job. And we just kept on going. And obviously, the incident, let's just before we talk about the goal, the save by Joe Robles, the header off Scott Dan. What was it, about the 80-something minute? Absolutely typical. They get a corner, and he just puts out a big arm, makes a great save, and then comes and catches the corner, because that's where I thought Joel was brilliant today. And I think this is the difference between him and Stekelenburg. Joel now he's very competent. I mean, was it 2 years ago? Yeah, I think it was 2 years ago now when we played Palace and we beat them 1-0. And it was a game that we had to win. It was a must-win game. And he played that day. And he took everything in the air. And today he was the same. He's a Spanish keeper and he still now, again, likes a punch. But he knows when it's time to come and catch. And I thought he did that brilliantly today. I thought he was really assured. Even in the last minute, they had a corner. He just come and took it. Really assured, not nervous. And we know he's still got his faults and he's got to, hopefully works. Because do you know what? I would love Joe Robles to make it as Everton's number one and be good enough for what we want. Because I think he gets Everton and he wants to fight for Everton, and I like that. You always like those players, and I'd love to see him do well. That's up to him. Performance like today, he's done everything right, hasn't he? He's done everything really assured. There's one at the end that wound me up, actually, though. It wasn't his fault. He came to get the ball and someone hooked it away, and it put us under pressure for the next 3 or 4 minutes. I'm just thinking, ooh, he wanted it, and you're kicking it away from him. It's his ball. Anyway, the goal itself, their lad's gone out, and he was actually off the pitch and then rolled back onto the pitch to try and get the game stopped. Now, Crystal Palace fans, you know me a decent lot, apart from the fellow with the drum who's a knobhead. And this is a whole football thing. How long's this rule been in now, where the game carries on, unless it's a head injury? Well, it wasn't a head injury. It was cramp, lad. Cramp, because you're not fit. Simple as that, because you're not fit. So, don't be booing, don't be jeering our players. Now, in the old days, under soft arse, when we were all soft and we were like Mr. Soft on that advert, we would have just, when all the booing happened, our players would have just went, I better kick her out. But they didn't. They didn't kick her out, because this is the bastard Everton. This is the Everton bastards. We are the bastards. Like in Game of Thrones, we are the bastards. And Game of Thrones, who are all the best characters? The bastards are the best characters. It's as simple as that. Everyone who's got mum and dad who were happy together are shit. It's the bastards who are the best characters. Rob Stark, he had a good mum and dad. What happened to him? Exactly. Who's still going? Jon Snow. There you go, because he's a bastard. Probably. Something might get revealed in the next series. That means that... I don't want to spoil it for you. But we kept going. We nearly got in. And then Tom Davies, who I thought, again, great performance. Different kind of performance this week. Had to be a little bit more in your face. Him and Holgate, they're snides, aren't they? They are great. Forget about everything else, how good they are. They're snides. Holgate loves a bit of a snide. And Tom was born a snide, let's be honest. You can't wear your socks like that and your hair like that if you're not a bit snide. So, absolutely fantastic. Little ball. Seamus, and this is what I was saying about composure. He just composed himself and just smashed it top in. Happy days, right in front of the Everton fans. Place goes mad. What a journey home they're going to have. I envy you as I go out to work. And different kind of bastards. Brilliant. Fantastic. And then, you knew what was going to happen. They were going to have a little go. And as I say, we were pretty assured. We forced them into making mistakes. We could have held on to it a little bit better down the other end, but who's asked? We took the 3 points. It's a brilliant follow-on from last week. United dropped 2 points as well. Wayne Rooney scored, broke a record, whatever. But, you know, they drew at Stoke. We've gained another couple of points on them, like we did last week. And you know what? As Baz said, I think the fight might be on now. We've put ourselves back in there in the last couple of weeks. We really have. Now in 10 days time, whatever it is, we go to Stoke. We've got to put in another performance and see what happens. But Crystal Palace, knowing that thing they go, it's never an easy place to go. It's not an easy place to go. And the last couple of, last year we went there 2-0. We drew them at home. We always have this reputation where no matter who's sort of on top, we get this draw. Today, I loved it. We got the 3 points. We were bastards. We were a little bit snide, and we dug it out. And you can't say it. Everyone was great. Again, you can't fault anyone. And Ronald is turning us into his super blue bastards. And I love it. 3 points. Happiness. There you go. Right, make sure you catch Baz's instant reaction and the player ratings, and we'll be doing the final word, obviously, on Monday. Get your comments in. Joe will pick the comments. I've got the word bastard on my brain. Get your bastard comments in. Get all your bastard comments in. Joe will pick the best ones, and we'll throw them in your comment show. Thanks for watching Toffee TV. I'll see you later. Get in.